We're just here rambling. He'll tell us about the fucking anaerobics, aerobics.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of K and F guys don't know what they're doing type shit, and I'm just like, that's because those guys don't know what the fuck they're doing, man. You know?
Yeah. You think you know what you're doing because you fucking go to the store every other week and read the back of a bottle and measure that shit. Like, yeah, you know what you're doing because someone else is telling you what the fuck you're doing, but with the KNF, yeah, it's kind of wishy-washy. Like, it's not wishy-washy, but
I mean, it's the guys that aren't taking huge dabs of melt and rosin and hanging in these circles that are saying that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of funny, honestly. Yeah. These guys will open a jar of mids and they'll be like, "Wow," It's like, this is who we're dealing with right now.
Yeah. I mean, I go to I went to a homie's indoor spot a few months ago, and it's fucking just so dialed, so proper, everything. But it's like, I look at it and I'm just like, how much rock wool are you throwing away at the end of every run? How much waste do you have every single run? Like, you guys are creating dumpsters of garbage just with the plastic that your fucking rock wool is even coming in. So, Q.
What's up? Yeah, I don't know. I never did it. I just try to, like, blinders and not even think about it.
No, I just mean, especially I'm sure out where you are, like,
it's crazy.
Indoors got its spot right now.
It's graveyards that are crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
I mean, indoors got its spot. It's propping up. It's keeping a lot of people fucking alive right now out here on the West Coast. That's its dirty little secret is the carbon footprint of that shit. I feel like the only way to really do it right long term is living soil with LEDs. There's Edgar. Oh my God, I didn't even think we'd get to see this motherfucker.
So
there he is.
So something that I think about a lot when I'm, like, thinking about what's regenerative and what's not regenerative or whatever the fuck the line is that makes us all happy is, like, there's laboratories all over the planet that make all sorts of terrible chemicals in the name of science. The plants that I grow with a little bit of electricity in the name of science, so I can learn how to, like, understand plants and how to fix the environment through soil health, like, I don't see that carbon footprint as being, like, a negative. You know what I mean? We got to have environments that we can control and we can experiment and we can learn how to work with nature. And that's what I feel like indoor grow rooms are supposed to be. We definitely got super far away from that shit with rock wool and all that stuff. But, like, I fuck with indoor rooms. I think they're dope. I think they're cool.
And I think that, get different plant expressions, and there's places where you can't necessarily grow outdoor all the fucking time, so you gotta.
Yeah, dude. Canada, Maine, Oregon, like, it's real up north, and we don't really have, like, it's so cold when you use ambient air and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty efficient to grow under light up north. It works. Like, trying to grow in Florida under lights, it's like uphill battle. So, everything's all right. And the issue is more like energy. We're bad at making energy. It's not like using energy or lights are the problem. It's just like we're not that good at making energy as a society and as a race yet. So as we get better at making energy, it'll all be chill. Vertical farming is, like, super efficient and super gangster, and they crush it with that shit in Europe. So indoor farming isn't all bad,
We were chatting about KNF, and now that we have you in the room, I'd love to ask you, as probably the most learned here, what drew you to KNF versus Jadam? Like, what are your thoughts on the argument about the anaerobic versus aerobic environments, and why do you do the things you do?
So the reason I went the way I went, I read Master Cho's book after me struggling with ulcerative colitis for, like, years and years and years, and I started getting into probiotics, and then I read Master Cho's book, and, like, I wanted to, like, create fungal colonies and communities and, like, restore the soil. And yeah, and I don't know, like I didn't learn. I mean, Jadam is Master Cho's son, who kind of had a chip on his shoulder, who was like, "I'm way smarter than my dad."
That's
And
what I
wrote a
said.
whole book. He wrote a whole book in spite of his dad, which is like cool
That's
or
what I
whatever.
said.
It's a lot. Jadam is cool. Like it's definitely what I would teach if I went to Africa. If I went to Africa or a third world country, I'd be teaching tons of Jadam, stuff like that. But I think if you're an American, you can afford to eat pizza, you can afford to do KNF. And for me, like
That's,
I think like being able to eat all of my inputs, like to me, that's the line. So like I don't put stuff on my plants and I don't feed my plants things that I don't eat.
Q.
So
Q.
Jadam will make you sick, and KNF will never make you sick if you do it right. And that to me is that's kind of the line. And I have friends that I fuck with, and they do Jadam, and they crush it. It's just not my flavor. It's not my cup of tea. You know, I know a little bit of it, but yeah, it's just not what I don't know. It just doesn't. It just feels like it's missing a little bit of love. You know, it just seems a little.
Q. Did you
No,
see
he wasn't
me
on.
take
He
that
wasn't
shot
on.
earlier?
No.
Bro, I took a half a shot of my 2.5-year-old fucking fish aminos.
Nice. Damn, that's what's good.
Bro,
Damn, that's good.
there was a little piece of meat in there too, bro. I was all chewing it.
It gets real, dude.
Look up Master
Yo, they were.
in my G. That's the one to look up on Google.
What'd you say, Edgar?
Oh, someone's asking about the KNF book. Look up Master Cho Korean Natural Farming, and it should
So
come
Yeah,
up.
but
just to build on that answer, Q, because I thought it was a really good answer. What do you say to people when they say that, you know, you're aerating all these KNF or some of these things in KNF, and then there's no oxygen 2 inches below the ground, the soil layer. What is your comment to that?
Yeah, so if there's no oxygen down there, then that's dirt, and that's not soil. Soil should be oxygenated. Soil should always be. Plants are aerobic. So if you're growing plants and your plants are in the ground, the atmosphere around your root mass, the rhizosphere, is aerobic. As soon as that area becomes non-aerobic, your plant is going to be dead pretty fucking quick. So plants are aerobic organisms, and if you're trying to grow aerobic organisms, you need to create an aerobic environment. We do use a lot of facultative anaerobes and conditional things that Elaine Ingham would say, like, oh, that's less than aerobic. When we're making things in the fermentation process, we use some low oxygen environments and some mixed things like labs. You actually, when you make labs, you actually want it to be completely anaerobic because labs is a facultative anaerobe. So it can grow underwater in an environment with no oxygen, and then you can pull it out of there and use it to it will actually convert anaerobic environments to aerobic environments. That's one of the amazing things about lactobacillus. So yeah, I hope some of that helps.
yeah,
Abs,
bro,
dude.
you're fucking so on it, bro.
Thanks. I try. I like this stuff.
Bro, you're so on it, dude. So I said earlier before you got on that, like, the way I think of Jadam is he was like being told what to do by his dad growing up, like, make this, make this, make this. And then he made a quicker path from A to B than his dad had been doing, but there's also less care to it. But at the same time, it's a little bit easier to scale, like I was saying earlier. Like IMO 1 to 4, it's a fucking lot of work.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Liquid Jadam, like JLF, bro, that shit's quick.
And I like JMS. The Jadam microbe solution is really pretty cool. And so the younger Cho, he went to college and then basically got out of college like, yo, I'm mad smart now. I went to college. And like Master Cho never went to college. And like, so like to me, I don't know, the like college know-it-all vibe. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's not really my thing. I like the like super underground. Like Cho's gangster as fuck. I don't know.
Cho did it out of this. That's what I said. Cho did it out of necessity. He was like, why the fuck are we out here in the middle of Korea bringing in all these outside expensive-ass inputs with this huge carbon footprint, trucking them in to grow this rice and this produce on my dad's farm when we can just make all this locally, closed loop, and do it for so much cheaper. And then and he learned it by intuition, whereas his son learned it by being told what to do and already having like, I wouldn't say like I want to be better than my dad, but like this is what my dad thinks. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I can be better than him. Like exactly what you said. He's got a chip on his shoulder towards his dad, and I think there's pluses and minuses to that. Because
Yeah, he did take some of his dad's stuff and kind of fit it into the scholastic mold, which is nice for some people when they want to like
scale it as well.
But when you actually, so something that one of my teachers, Sherry, she explained to me, she's a student of Master Cho, and I didn't really think about, is that when you actually look at it, Jadam still operates on like an NPK kind of system, and you're basically still injecting nutrients into the soil that you're just asking the plants to uptake. Like, you're not really giving the soil the intelligence that we're trying to do with KNF. So you're still kind of on like a hydro mindset a little bit with it. You're just kind of trying to pump nutrients a little bit.
What I said, and I've said it before, is Jadam, in my opinion, just like you said, is more focused on feeding the plants, whereas Cho is more focused on feeding the soil and feeding the roots.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
and if you are feeding the plants, it's foliar and it's homeopathic amounts, super small amounts. So it's like when you are feeding the plants, it's like this little mist. Like you're just like, oh, I'll just give it a little spritz, just like a glass of iced tea. It's this very like there's so much dialing in and so much delicacy that is like it gets really lost and kind of I don't know. I just don't see the same nuance with the Jadam stuff.
Yeah,
there's nuance with that glob though.
What
damn.
are you dabbing, Edgar? What are you dabbing, Edgar?
Strawberry spritzer and some rainbow belts mixed together. Strawberry spritzer is a great runts.
Word. Out of the runces, do you have favorite runces, Edgar? Are you like is the white runce better than the regular runce? What's the best runce?
We got a black runce.
The runce. And I like them a lot, both.
Cool. Nice.
We got a black runce that's real nice. It's got some grape shit in it.
Okay, cool. Nice.
It doesn't wash.
Damn. Some of the best ones don't. Rough.
Jameson, what are you dabbing?
Man, that was delicious.
I just smoked. What did I just smoke? I just had some once, and I'm probably gonna smoke some Fire OG. And I got Mo to wrap the close down, and I also have a run with cherry. Really nice.
What state are you in, Q?
I'm in Maine.
You're in Maine. Have you heard of Wisely?
Yeah, I have actually. I haven't actually like seen any of their hash in person. I don't know their menu very well, but their presence is definitely up here. They seem to be putting out a ton of good product. Like, but I can't speak to it much. But yeah, they've definitely been around.
I got some orange acai menthol Wilson and some Trop Wilson. Trop Wilson's really good. The orange acai menthol, it's not because of the quality. It's more so because of the breeder, and it's kind of like pepperminty, and I'm kind of scared to dab it, but that's because of the menthol.
Pepperminty. Damn, that's crazy. I just got an acai gelato cross I just went through, and I was really happy with some of the flavors that came out of there. That's just dope. I'm not a gelato person, but that's just nice.
I love gelato, personally.
Bro, the Larry, the 33, the Larry, bro, that's just all time.
I haven't really seen them. Like, I don't get a lot of jars of just straight cuts, because I pop seed. So I was like, oh, everybody's doing gelato. I'll do something else, whatever. But, dude, this acai shit is no joke. I fuck with it. So maybe I'll fucking play with some of the other gelatos. I got some of those. Me and Gene did those cherry lime gelato crosses. So I got some of those. So I don't know. Maybe I'll look at some more gelatos if people saying they're good.
The cherry lime pure Kush, Royal Kush that I'm growing right now is fucking out of here.
Yeah?
Mean Gene shit right there. It reminds me of, like, Sunset Shirt.
Damn. We just got a bunch of Purple Urkel Sunset Sherb seeds. We're going to do a little Urkel Sherb fucking pheno hunt just for see what's good. So, dude, after seeing your green Sherb fucking whale oil, I'm like, dude, I got to go down the Sherb road, dude. There's something. That's the Candyland road I'm trying to take, dude. So, thank you for the inspiration.
Sunset
Yeah.
Herb is the shiznit, bro. I love fucking Sunset.
So, Edgar, our Sherb isn't the Sunset. It doesn't go purple at all. It's the green Sherb from Jodri that came up on the same flat as the Sunset and the Skittles and shit.
The not Skittles?
It's like not the Z is what they call it, or like the green Sherb. But yeah, like I have the gas, like right now in my Medi, I have the gas station Bob cut a Z right next to our Sherb.
Oh, shit.
They're fucking so different.
So Kevin Jodri, I heard he brought like some Z cuts down to Wonderland Nursery. Do you know anything about those?
That's where our Sherb is from. So the story, that's
in my Wilson cross like 3 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah. So the story of our Sherb is that it came up on the same flat as the True Z, the Sunset, and also the Keyline Pie. The Sunset goes super purple. It's denser than the green Sherb. The green Sherb's much air. It's more airy based on the end of the season. But the purple doesn't. The purple that's denser. The true Sunset. I got into this with Collie. Collie's a close homie. That's Brandon's cousin. And he was like, yo, that's not Sherb. He came to my farm a few years ago and he's like, that's not the Sherb. That's not the Sherb. And I'm like, okay, well, Kevin sold it to me as a Sunset Sherb in 2013 and 14. So that's what I thought it was. And a lot of people kind of got rid of it because it's not that rad for flower. But it was the same cut that came up on the tray to Wonderland from the Bay, and that's the story I got from Jodri.
So some dude hit me up on Instagram, and he's like, "Dude, come meet me, right? Come, like, let's link. I got these cuts for you." I'm like, "Whatever." Like, I would link with some people sometimes, depending on my intuition, going through their profile, and like, okay, this guy's kind of safe. And I met him on Rosecrans in Wilmington, like in the hood. He comes and he's all like, "This is Skittles from Kevin Jodri, Wonderland Nursery." And I wasn't like, the Skittles hype isn't right now. You know, it was probably like almost 4 years ago. And I'm just like, whatever, dude. Like, I brought it home. I threw it in a 10. It was 2 of them. He brought me 2 like nice ones. And I threw them in some 10-gallon pots. And yeah, they were like really, really finicky, stout growing plants. And then it didn't help that I like top dressed it with like a handful of down to earth kelp. And, you know, the next day they were all burnt. Like the whole left side of my fucking garden was burnt. You know, it was insanity. I was doing this top dress. It should have been like way less. And like, I'm doing something wrong. Like, I've done this mistake before, you know?
No, but some plants can't take it. Like, some plants, you feed them like a normal amount and they're like, oh, fuck, I'm out. Like, so yeah, that, I mean, it fits the kind of the word on the street, right? So
the Skittles doesn't veg hard. It doesn't drink a lot of water. Like the real gas station Bob cut. It's half as vigorous. I mean, even Bryceland Nursery in Southern Humboldt, like 5 years ago, was selling like the Dookie Bros cut of the real Z, and we got it, and it was the same as our fucking Sherb cut from Wonderland a few years before.
So when you compare like a Z to a purple Sherb to a green Sherb, right? Like, do they all suck at growing? Is any of them growable?
No, our Sherb fucking smashes. And that's why
the green yields and gets big and stuff like that?
The purple Sherb, like the True Sunset purple cut does too. It's better for flower.
So Skittles is like the worst. Skittles is like just the worst across the board.
I wouldn't say it's the worst, but
out of the three.
And then there's also the key lime pie that came up on the same flat. And the key lime pie is like a green Sherb, but is a little tighter flower than the cut we have, and it doesn't wash. It does not wash.
I think Green Dragon was selling the Skittles right
Yeah,
now.
that's the Z. That's the real Z.
Yep.
Yeah.
That looks a lot like my Moonbow, my Lightspeed. It's got that same kind of just like rounded, nothing super special, but super frosty kind of round look, you know?
I love it, by the way. This is really good stuff.
Nice.
Skittles. I
Yeah.
smoked it all already.
Yeah, but
All
the
right, so
real
those
gas
shirts are
station.
growable. That's good to know.
Yeah. I'll get you the cut. I ain't.
No. I don't take plants. I only take seeds. So let's find something cool to hit that green
So
shirt with.
so
And I'm about
Taylor Sullivan's Viking
Yeah.
did the Fofana, which I have from like 2 or 3 years ago from him, like the Fofana.
Yeah. That's already got the
F1s or whatever.
sherbet in it with the heirloom OG. Yeah.
The it's like basically like a Sherb on Sherb back. It's like a Sherb BX2 or
Like a
whatever. You guys
Sherbo.
are the
It's
breeders.
like,
I
yeah.
don't breed. Edgar's a breed. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
Dude, that
Fofana,
would be mint.
Heirloom OG, Deadhead OG, Sunset Sherbet. I think it even has Banana OG in it,
Yeah,
honestly.
banana OG, heirloom OG, sunset sherbet, but the deadhead is in the heirloom. That's where I always get mixed up too. It's so much heat.
Yeah.
So much heat.
We have to. It's my job to remember this stuff, especially because I bred with this whole Fofana line. So shout out.
Damn.
Yeah, I
Hell
used
yeah.
he sent me the seeds like before everybody, and I popped them as soon as they landed. And
Shit.
I did that in.
Yo, you and I got him. Edgar, I think you and I got him around the same time at Ego 2 years ago.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's a minute ago. I didn't even know T-Beazle then.
Yeah,
So,
it-
fucking
19.
sleeping on it.
It was for sure pre-COVID, dude, that I got my batch.
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
Pre-COVID seeds, I feel like should just go double in price.
Yeah.
Just for no reason.
bro. I got some original Mac 1 packs. I got a
That's
bunch
pretty
of.
cool.
I got a bunch of your shit, Edgar. I got a shit ton. Like when you were running that like fucking 20 pack for whatever deal, you picked.
Dude.
It's still the same.
It's still going. Still going. I still have the email, dude. I got that email from like way back. I'm like, dude, am I about to buy like
Yo, I'm gonna
50
pull.
packs
I'm gonna
for
pull it out.
$150?
I'll pull it out.
Crazy. Yo, but for real, whale oil, I want that BX. I want like 50 of those. If like, let me know what you need. If you need some hash or some money, I want like 50 of those of that green sherb to the fucking Fofana. That's
No,
legit.
I don't think that. I don't think that he was breeding with the green sherb though.
Yo, well, have you heard of
Oh, I thought you said he hit your green sherb with that.
I mean, I think he was doing some of the sunset sherbs in those Fofanas.
So,
Okay.
Logistics did a gas station Bob F2 that I'm rocking with right now.
Oh.
And I got that because I seen T show off a gas station Bob pack one time. I was like, what the fuck is that? And he told me. That's like some landrace shit. That's Malawi Panama Red F2 Wilson.
Who was showing up? So there's gas station Bob seeds? Explain this to me, Mace. Gas station Bob seeds?
There's a gas station Bob seed line.
Yeah, there's seeds from Dying Breed labeled gas station Bob. There's gas Bob pack.
That doesn't make any sense, but I like it. Logically, I don't understand it, but I still want it.
That's sour gelato root beer before root beer was even hype. Yeah, that's from Skunk Tech. He gave me a nug of gelato, and I was like, "What the fuck's this seed in here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing this project for me right now here." And I'm like, "Whatever." I totally overlooked it. I went home and grew the bag seed, and the rest is history. What is
root beer? Probably mids. Who wants that? You know.
MTF. That's Matanuska Thunderfuck Wilson. That's a really good one too.
Yeah,
Some
I'm
dude
from Alaska.
the line at Expo. He's like, "You really need to grow these," and I'm just like, "Okay, like relax. I'll grow when I go." So Bubba Trop, that's military chocolate times Wilson. I was the first person
Right.
to grow Bubba Trop. That's why I called it Bubba Trop. It didn't even have a name yet.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna scoop those a while back.
Hash plant Girl Scout cookies. What does that say? Yeah, Girl Scout cookies, hash plant. I got that from a dude who I don't work with anymore, and I called it "You Live at Home, Mom." So that's what that strain is called.
Dude, and it's funny because it's gonna be super short, so you could even call it like mom's basement. You know what I mean? Like, cause it's just gonna be.
That's the auto cross to a photo. So look for short flowering, a quick flowering plants in there, dude. Yeah,
Nice.
that's Mephisto. All these seeds are dead stock. These are long done data.
Dude,
Yeah, that's the
those are like Masonic rookie cards.
They are. These are like there's the Silver Age, Golden Age, and then I made a couple before that, but like those were like I was crushing. I still am crushing it, but like I'm like damn, like I'm crushing when I had that.
You had the youth about you. You were on it.
Shout out Ranch. Ranch crushes it too. I got a Ranch drop on the site for everybody wondering. Link in bio. Only 30 ever. It's Sky Ghost OG Sky Charo hybrids. What? Tap in.
Damn.
Caps the
That's
man.
a fire.
So I put
Dude.
Cap on the hashtag, guys, just so you guys know. I got to give myself that pat on the back. He was squeezing flower rosin. I fucking called him. I was like, we're not. I'm going to go introduce you to some friends of mine, and we're going to make this. So this is Cap Junkie from Capulator right here. From his
What's the
the one.
Thank you. Thank you. We don't need more flower rosin. Flower rosin's not bad, but we don't need more of it. We got plenty.
But he went to the ladder of every grade in like 2 weeks. He went from like flower rosin, keef, and then boom, right to the big leagues. Mosca does great.
He's a super nice dude. I got to go out to dinner with him and a bunch of cats and masks. That guy's really nice, and he's
Dude,
like he's
Mosca's
super
the homie.
experimental, dude. He's like he's awesome. Talking about farming and gardening is super fun.
I grew his Indiana bubblegum Girl Scout cookie. Very, very big plant, like outlier among 1,000 pop seed plant among 40 strains, So he came fast. Sure, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
I got these. I'm popping these soon from Bloom.
Bloom is the best. What is that? Mimosa? Nah, you don't want to pop that. What's the other one?
That's the bubbles, dude. I was just my homie Mike over here was just puffing on that.
Sure.
That's the whatever bubbles.
Right there, sure.
The Fizz.
Pop the Mimosa though, but don't be mad when nobody wants it.
I'm telling you, my homie was just ripping on the strawberry bubbles. Like it's very like that strawberry bubble gum. Like the pheno that we were ripping was that strawberry bubble gum. It's good, but it's like there's so much straw guava. You got to step a little outside the box to really catch eyes now. I feel like so.
Bloom was
like
the
that take will get you there.
Ever,
dude.
Original mentor, pretty much. Shout out Bloom. Like we call each other, weird names that we can never on here. We got it like we're pretty tapped in. Shout out Bloom. I don't know if you've seen the meme I posted the other day where I put Bloom ate my ass under.
I did like 3 packs of the Straw Guava S1s and just went through them. And I found a really nice one for headaches. Like it's been knocking out my brother's migraines. And it's, it's a big ass fucking plant with a ton of weed. So pretty pumped about it.
Guava ones too, and I crossed them to Wilson, of course. And we grew a bunch out. And it's Straw Guava remix, you know what I mean? It's an ink cross of some sort, It's got like the same pieces in there somewhere, And it's
right.
Straw Guava-esque, but like more tropical. I really enjoyed the smoke, and we're washing a bunch right now, and I smoked I finished all the flower, but it was still good and unique. Like even amongst all the Cushman jealousy flowers that are around, like it holds its own. It's like, wow, like, damn, this is good in hash and in flower. It's like, you don't really smoke flower, It's always
when we joint smoked through the pheno hunt, my homies, we were just doing work in the greenhouse. We just smoked like one every hour and like some really amazing strawberry profiles that I feel like we hadn't really ran into before. So it was pretty sweet. Like it was just strawberry with this, strawberry with that. I mean, just some great strawberry stuff. So it was cool.
Guava itself, the clone?
No, I don't get a lot of clone onlys, and I don't really smoke anymore. But I have all my hands pheno hunt, so it's like I roll everything up and ask a lot of questions.
So Q, if I don't ingest a lot either. And I mean I smoke flower, but it's usually like clone only shit that I know like what I'm getting into, this and that. But like, yeah, I wanted to ask you that at Moth. Like, how do you kind of like get a gauge on if you're pheno hunting, especially like what's fire?
Great question.
Yeah. So like normally I have definitely some favorites, and I kill a lot of shit by the end of the pheno hunt. So I really try to
your favorite in terms of how it washes, or just like, I mean, you smell
No.
like
So first I'm just looking for good plants with unbelievable profiles. So like whatever I'm smelling, and I'm like, that can't smell like that. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's find a couple of those. I'm looking for stuff that's unbelievable. If there's nothing wrong with the other shit and it's not runty, I'm still gonna keep it around. But like runt's got to go. Anything with herons has to go. Male's got to go. Right? You're now down to like whatever. Right? Then I'm going to pick some favorites, and I might like lean into them, but I'm not going to really tell anybody. So then when things get dry, half of the plant will get frozen for wash, and then like the top couple nice nugs will get taken for flour. And then I'll start rolling up joints and kind of smoking people out on them without saying any of my opinions or too much of what I want, or I might even try to mislead people a little bit. You're like, oh yeah, this one tastes like banana, even though I think it tastes like strawberry, and I'll try to like push people around a little bit and see what I can get. And usually by that time, people are like, oh, this one doesn't taste that much, but this other one tastes really good. And if you roll up two joints at the same time, you get way better flavor results. Like, so people aren't thinking about it, they can actually smoke both. So like, I like to have you can have a group of 2 or 3 people and smoke more than one joint at once. That really fucking helps narrow down flavor. And then I'm usually trying to get it down to like the 2 or 3 best flower plants, and then wash those. And then I'm picking out of that fire flower gene pool. I'm picking my favorite washer. That's, I guess, I don't know. To me, flower is still like the hardest, most magical thing. And hash is perfect and it's amazing. But like, I don't know. I kind of hunt flower first and then hunt hash after, because it takes so much more work to hunt for hash. I'd rather like narrow some of it down flower wise, you know? Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I've been doing it, I guess. Then with hash, I'll do the same thing. I'll get all the hash and I'll take it to people. And I know different people that perceive things different ways. Like I have a friend where like sativas, don't touch it. You can't even, he'll just be like, where's the rest of the weed? You know, you like have to bust out chems, or he's just like, all this weed is not weed. And I have people that are the other way where they only want, if it doesn't get them high, they don't even notice the body. Like they don't even notice the body effect. They're just like video game people. And they just want to be like high in the noodle. So you kind of got to like bounce through each of these kind of check boxes and be like, okay, when I gave it to him, he spit it out like this. Okay, that must mean that it's this kind of weed. Then I give it to my sativa person, and he's like, yep, this is fucking gangbusters. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And like, my brother fucking hates my Lightspeed 4, and it's because it's too strong and makes him anxious, and he thinks that's bad weed. And I'm like, dude, you need to subjectively be able to like look at this and understand that it's really strong, potent weed. You just don't like the type of weed it is. So I try to differentiate people from like what they like and what it is, but it's hard to do, and it's easier to do with more people. So I don't know.
Lightspeed Archive. What's the cross on that again?
So that's basically, it's double do-si-do. So it's do-si-do lemon peel, do-si-do Skittles. So it's Moonbow lemon cane.
Nice. I grew them, but I didn't take care of them, so they kind of just slipped through the.
Did you breed that, or did Archive?
No, that's Archive. I did a big one though. That was like 4 packs. I did 4 fem packs to find 5 keepers, and then one of them was shit for flower, and then another one was shit for hash, and then one was low yielding, and I'm left with these like 2 super nice. The 18 is like the lemon OG type, and the 4 is the one that I got 3rd place in melt with. That's the Funyun Skittles pheno is what we call it. It's like just really oniony, like it's super Skittlesy and it's super oniony and really funky. It's really nice. I mean, it's basically a Moonbow type, you know, for all intents and purposes, like a different take on a pure Moonbow type.
Nice.
That
Moonbow, it's fucking everywhere here in Oregon, bro. I swear, like Ego last year, there was so much fucking Skittles, Moonbow, fucking rainbow belts shit. Just
it's good. It's fun to grow. Like I don't know the shit I'm growing. I'm like, dude, this is. If you guys are having trouble growing Skittles, you should grow this shit. This shit fucking hits. I'm getting huge.
That's the thing. The real gas station bob cut, it grows like shit. but there's just no other fucking Z terp that is that. Like our Skittles has it at the end, or I mean our Sherb like has that Z at the end, and there's a bunch of shit out there that's got it in there, but like when you hit that real fucking Z, like maybe it's fucking nostalgic for me when Brandon brought it to the fucking Secret Cup in Trinidad when him and Fields and and Tony Mendo and all the homies were still homies. And
Right.
They brought it to a fucking BHO comp, and it was I've said it before, number fucking 18. And that Trinidad pack, dude, I was like, what? I'd never tasted anything like that in my life. The only other thing that stood out before that to me was a couple years before at the Emerald Cup when it was still up in Laytonville, was when the the Garlic Boys or whatever from was it the garlic sour or whatever they had from like Michigan or some shit, the Earls of Duke or the Duke, I'm kind of blanking on their name, but like those kids had like a fucking garlicky sour like years before GMO was a thing that really stood out, and I was just like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? But then when that Skittles hit, it was just like something so new. Even after growing the Sherb and like true like the real like Burners cut of Girl Scout and the fucking like those different cookies cuts coming out of Kevin's spot in Wonderland. But that Z was just fucking, it just stands out. There's something about it. And that's kind of the double-edged sword, in my opinion, is that it grows like shit, but it's like just that real Z. Like, I don't know.
So when you think of Z, right? Like I feel like with a lot of this stuff, I'm thinking about, okay, I got a pack of Skittles. Which Skittles is it? Like I feel like some stuff, like the Lightspeed I have, is like double yellow. It's like if you had a pack of Skittles, but it had double yellows, but still had all the other flavors. But then
Skittles
like
aren't
that,
different flavors.
Grab OZK, bro. Grab you some OZK. You'll find Skittles in there easy. You know, that's a nice Skittles terp in there.
nice. And that's in the Guava Z, right? The guavas.
Yeah, but I've grown the guavas.
It's in the RS11. It's in the RS11. That's like the main
guavas
dish.
is too creamy. You won't get a nice expression of Z in there, and it's actually Oz melons or something like that. That's
yeah.
It's not OZK.
Panty Dropper, my boy Panty Dropper melts, and also fucking Solventless Soup Kitchen here in Southern Oregon. They both got a OZ melons cut that is like, it's as close to the Z as you can get. I feel like you're fucking super right, Edgar.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was a gem. Thank you guys.
Here right now, shout out Brandon. I'm looking through, revisiting the Z for, I did the Z from Kevin Jodrey. I did Skittles Trop from Oni before he had released it, to the public. And I did, I did Skittles Grease Monkey after I did my, not Sherb or whatever. And that's the Skittles renditions I've done. And I'm a huge fan of Skittles. It's funny, the way I got privy to Skittles was going to Barcelona, and it's like all the kids want to smoke over there, like the dude, and I'm like, damn, this shit is good. Like, I can't wait to go back home and like my shit and then like grow some of this stuff, and ever since then it's like, it's one of my favorite things. It's like, I love gas, I love funk, I love candy, I love fruit, and I love Skittles, and I don't know which one that falls under. It's like a mix of all of them,
Dude, it is really funky. I was surprised the first time I saw it. I was like I saw, like my buddy was like, yo, smell this. And I was like, dude, is this like sour? I was like, what is this? Like, it's like really gnarly. And like, that's the Z. And I was just like, oh, it just like fucked up everything I thought. So yeah, I didn't see it. It's nasty. Shit, phone up.
It's like you left a fucking wet bag of Skittles in your car for like a week.
I've never done that. They usually get ate up. Oh, wet bag of Skittles. Wait up. You live in a really rainy part. Like, you just got them in your pocket.
No.
I think the Skittles, the candy thing is more so power of suggestion. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it smells like Skittles or it tastes like Skittles. But I personally don't do like I'll eat Skittles. I've never done the side by side, but like I just think it's like a name, you know? I don't think it's necessarily correlating to the candy. Me personally, I would ask Brandon, I'll hit him up and be like, hey, like, why is it called Skittles, you know? And he'll be like, oh, because it's the fucking candy. Okay, it's the fucking candy, you know, on my way. But I'm not sure.
It was just different. I mean, Brandon's story is that it was a different fucking terp in that flat that came up from the bay. Like,
Yep.
Kevin said the same thing. It was just a little bit different, and they knew it, and I don't even know why they kept it, because dude, it's just like fucking garbage. It's so bad.
I think Collie made a post about it. Like, man, like this thing wouldn't have made the cut over here, but since somebody got the cuts, it got into the network, you know? Like, they were going to rock with the Sunset Sherberts better because they just grew way nicer, and they didn't, you know, they wouldn't get as moldy and bud rot like the Skittles get. They're way more finickier. So, but somehow, some way, you know, that should still fucking hit the realm, and I'm glad it did, because I like them both, but I like the Skittles terp, you know? I'm a big...
They weren't, from what Collie has told me and Brandon has said, that they probably wouldn't have kept the real Z if they hadn't washed it. Because it's shit for flour. The green sherb, the real purple sunset sherb, and the key lime pie are way rad for flour. They're so much denser. And they're
way
not
more
as
denser, way more like za, you know, they just look way better, you know, as opposed to the fucking Skittles that it's just one of the ugliest fucking looking plants, but it's so fucking terpy that, you know, it outweighs the looks for sure.
What do you mean Jonah, they washed it? Skittles is not notoriously known to be a good yielder.
But so it's not a good washer, but it's also it's so shit for flour that it just doesn't yield. It veges like trash, and they weren't gonna keep it around until they fucking started washing shit. Like that Collie, like when Collie was down and fucking who's their other cousin, Shiloh, like when Shiloh was still with them, like it just wasn't a breeder fucking plant. And they weren't, I don't know what the story is, why they kept it around or whatever, but it was just they knew it was special, and the flour was amazing, and the melt from it was just it's not a washer. And like I said, that's kind of why it's this like fucking unicorn strain, because it's not rad to grow, it's not a dumper, it veges like a bitch, but when it's the real true gas station Z cut and you wash it, it's just it's unforgettable. I mean, I'm growing one plant of it this year, and I'm not gonna sell none of that shit. That's for the head, all of it.
Who is this gas station Bob, and why does he not want more notoriety?
So I talked to Jimmy Devine the other day, and he said that it's a made-up character by Brandon to like throw a kink in the whole system.
It is. So even Kevin really wouldn't really give me like who it was. But after the first time we hit with the fucking Sherb at Ego, I talked to him a little bit, and he was a little kind of, oh yeah, we got that cut way back, this and that. And then after the second time we won insolventless with it, I was like, Kevin, what's the fucking story on this cut? I've had it for fucking almost like 8 years now from you. Like, what's the real story on this Sherb? And he sent me the fucking the message, and it's, my buddy went down to the bay in fucking 14 to Sherbinski's spot. I don't know if it was a tray that was supposed to leave or not. Whatever, but on that tray that came up, it was the fucking key lime, the real purple sunset that's dense as fuck, the green Sherb, the Z, and then our green Sherb that we have.
And I guess that's the only logical way that it would make sense that everybody can claim it and nobody can, you know, really get mad at anybody.
I mean, Philos proved it. When Philos was doing their fuck around shit a few years ago, they linked it. And Kevin even told me, he's like, I can't exactly nail it down. He's like, it's either the mom, the dad, or the fucking offspring that are green cherub of the Skittles. So they're, you know, it. Who fucking knows? I know what I'm told. I'm not a breeder. Edgar knows. You know.
I'm not a historian. I just know what I. Hey, princess.
That's dope. I think that was a cool insight. Because I mean, if any one person could truly claim provenance, they would have claimed that. I mean, like without a doubt. So
no doubt, man, no doubt. As all in all, like everyone played their part from what I've seen on a street level. Like from me being a fly on the wall, I'm not on anybody's. I'm not rooting for anybody in particular. I'm a fan of everybody.
Me too.
So that's my 2 cents on that. You know, I'm just from a fan's perspective. You know, honestly. So shout out those guys for making that happen for sure.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be sick to see what's next. Like what you know, like what shakes it after Skittles. I think Skittles is holding down right now. I mean, there's run stuff. I feel like, you know, Skittles is
Shout out the ranch. CSI, he's been fucking crushing a bunch of that green sherb. He's really on that, and there really is some like true Z terps in that green sherb.
Yo, Native Selections, did you get any of the Z when it first hit the scene? I know you run a nice nursery up in Monterey, I think, so you might have had like your ear to the street around that time. Any lore you could share with us would be highly appreciated. We're on the Z tip right now.
We're going down the rabbit hole because it's good to sort these things out.
It's the Zabbit hole.
Now you need to make an article, the Zabbit hole. I did, brother, out here in Santa Cruz.
For Jimmy to do.
Yeah, you are in Santa Cruz, not fucking, not Monterey.
Yeah.
Shout out Native.
Big difference between SC and Monterey. Get it right.
Yeah, in Monterey, I could drive to Monterey. I can't drive to Santa Cruz. That'd take me 7 hours or more.
So what? Just Kev made the decision?
Native says he has a story. Put him live.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Let's hear him.
He won second place Legends of Hash with his lemon dog shit.
Oh, that's my homie. I got some of that lemon dog shit in my freezer right now.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna go get it.
Guy right
I'm gonna
there.
go get it.
Bunch of big dogs.
What's up, boys?
What's cracking like?
So this is my thing about, obviously, we've been doing for right? This is when I was like, so we used to go up and get a bunch of packs from up north when we were young, like 17, 18 years old, right? My buddy Bob, this guy was like 60 years old at the time. He is just crushing it, smoking. You know, these are Humboldt joints, roll these big old huge bats. Dude was super rad. That guy, we got like all these ripping, like he'd let us collect through all these pounds when we were shopping and get all like the sours and the chems and the old OGs and the like other hazes and Dutch blueberries and all the old like stuff, train wrecks, all the perps, petroleum head stashes, Mendo perps, you know, all the things, right? So then he had this one weed. This is my version. I don't know. There's a lot of stories. I love Brandon. I love all the dudes, this and that. But it's like, I'm telling you right now, like, for my facts of my life, I'm gonna be 46 years old. I'm not that old, but I started smoking and growing weed when I was really young and kind of just jumping into it. When I was up there dealing with a lot of heavy hitting dudes at the time, right? My buddy called it quarter mile weed. It was legit Skittles. He would only sell me a quarter pound at a time, even if we were up there getting wood no matter what. And I was like, Bob, why do you call this quarter mile weed? He's all, because it will never get farther than a quarter mile away from my home. The thing grows like shit. It's a little scrubby bush. It doesn't look good. People don't like it. The appeal of it in a bag. Skittles, right? Like this is all just like what the Skittles is. And it was candy, sweet, like something you would want to just shove your head in the turkey bag and smoke all day long. You know what I mean? Like straight up, it was Skittles, bro. Like it was the most desired thing. It's just like now, everyone that gets their lips on that, they love it. I love gas. I love sweet. I'm a sucker for grapes. I love all like the Skittles crosses and all those things. You know what I mean? But like back then, that was the candiest, sweetest thing. And then we used to have like some other like there were purples, but they smelled like blueberry muffins when they come out of the oven, right? Like really sweet, overly sweet blueberries and things like that, and all these really nice strawberry hits. There was some really sweet weed back then, but it was the straight Skittles, dude. And like I told, I forgot his name, the guy, the Terp Hogs guy, the big guy,
Tony Greener Fields.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, right. And I had told him just like just humbly tell him my story of what happened with my life and when I was up there, and this was when
and he said, no.
He like this cool story, Pops. He pops me, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, hey, bro, I'm not trying to like take away all your Z fame and all your fucking rainbows and your skills, whatever the fuck you got going on, bro. But like, I'm telling you, when I was young, I smoked that shit, and it was just, to me, what I was told was it was called quarter mile, and it was from a 60-year-old man that lived in Honeydew, Southern Humboldt.
What year?
What year? Yeah, what year is this?
On the back end of fucking Kings Peak, the tallest mountain in Humboldt, bro. Fucking weatheriest, wettest country up in that bitch. This dude was doing fucking thousands of pounds, and he was selling 300, 400, 500 pounds at a time. The only guy back then doing that, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm sure was politically and money connected somehow and all the things, but the guy was the fucking legend, bro. I met him through these Russian kids that used to be my old neighbors.
Bulgarian.
Yeah, old Bulgies, bro. And then when we went up there, they were all connected, the Bulgies, and you meet the Mungs, and there's all, all the groups up there. But this guy Bob, he would always have the link on like crystal balls of LSD and weird shit. He'd be like, dude, this came from Poland. What? So yeah, I traded fucking these vehicles and this thing for this crystal ball of fucking crystal LSD from Poland. Like, he was the most interesting dude. Like, one time he met me in San Francisco, and it was like a fucking movie. Like, a bus pulls up, and then like drives away, and Bob's sitting there holding like two things of luggage. Like, this little fat chubby guy from Humboldt, just like all tripping in the city. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. I'll tell you, man. I got
bro, that's gas station. That's gas station Bob.
Ganja for a long time. You know what I mean? I've lost friends and family from it. Back when this wasn't all cool like it is now, we were shunned. We were the outlaws. We lose friends and family, and people didn't like us because we went against the grain, and we weren't the fucking, the follow the fucking rules guys and shit. We love weed. Number one, I fucking love smoking weed, and I love growing weed, and I love everything about it. So for my own temple and myself, I'm going to grow that shit for myself. And I'm always going to have extra for all my friends, right? And then my family all smokes herb. My grandpa smoked heavy herb. He was freaking one of the big timers in Amway back in the 60s and 70s, a big money business guy. I mean, he started one of the first helicopter companies in the islands of Hawaii. You know what I mean? He's like a businessman. And that dude smoked weed every day right out of the bed. You know what I mean? And hold conferences, speaking conferences, and high as a kite the whole time. He's like, he's the one that would tell me, like, we were taught as youngsters by all these oldsters, like, old guys, it's just part of our culture. You know what I mean? It's nothing bad. It's nothing different. It doesn't make you anything different. Like, it was always just a part of our family and things. But then you got outside of your family, and people didn't think you're the same. They're like, oh, you guys are those guys, you know what I mean, doing way too much, and you guys are the outlaws and bringing all the, the devil's lettuce and the gateway drugs and all the things, right? You know what I mean? It's so different back then. That's why it's trippy to see it now how it is, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that are claiming this and that and the other, which is rad. There's a lot of people doing great work. Like Mace, I popped a bunch of Mesa seeds There's so much beautiful stuff in there. I used to pop a bunch of Bodhi seeds, a bunch of stuff. But there's so much rad genetics out there, and still, it's like the never-ending hunt, right?
But 100%. But one before
Like,
before we move off the topic, like, why hasn't that homie or that homie's family tried to step forward and claim any type of ownership? Like, or have they? Like, I haven't heard of anybody.
this guy's a very 55-gallon barrels of cash, player. He don't need no
Yeah.
fucking fame. All this
That's
shit.
what I didn't want to say it earlier, Jameson, but you were like, why aren't these fools coming forward? It's like, Bob was at the fucking gas station.
Yeah, and then this guy, it never worked at a gas station. I guarantee you, my buddy never worked at a gas station.
No, he didn't work at a gas station.
No, and like he was an old, fat, chunky guy that was just like he was one of the head honchos up there, bro, for sure. Like in Southern Humboldt, doing deep shit. You know what I mean? And he was spiderweb connected to everyone that was doing something up there.
Quarter Mile Kush, you said?
No, just called Quarter Mile.
Quarter Mile.
Quarter mile,
baby. I love this story, but I've never heard this story.
You'd only grow small amounts of it. I'm like, Bob, you have. So he's like, I was like, you got all these big patches. Why don't you do more of this stuff? He's like, he straight told me, he's like, it doesn't want to root. It's a pain in the ass to fucking propagate. It's a little squatty shrub thing that like everything else towers over it. It doesn't produce. It doesn't really have a good curb appeal. It's kind of just like this shaggy little nugs. And like, there was nothing big to them. They're all kind of just a bunch of shaggy little popcorn nugs. And it was just the candy though. It was like, dude, you want to eat? You know what I mean? Like, it was so good. Just how Skittles is. You know what I mean? And then now there's definitely some very good, pure Skittlesy things, but there's a lot of versions out there, right? Like somewhere like Lime.
Speaking of other versions, Rainbow Belts bundle on MasoniCseeds.co. Go grab yourself the Rainbow Belts bundle today. Link in bio. 3 Rainbow Belts hybrids for only $150. 12 seeds in each pack. Go lock in some Z Terps with your boy Big Mace. Man, I've been on here for a minute. Thank you, Native, for sharing that story, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to get out.
Bro, that was a great story. Great story, bro.
Well,
yo, shout out.
We all need to keep this up, though, and keep this going, bro, because it's us that, not like some guy writing a book that's like, hey, bro, I read something on the internet and all this trolls and shit. Like, we need to get some grassroots people to really, like, dude, the old buck up war times when we were doing some crazy, stupid shit and freezing our ass off in the forest and fucking chopping wood and fucking doing real, I'm saying, to, like, get the job done.
And
yo, shout out, fucking Southern Humboldt, Kings Mountain. I was out in Whale Gulch for fucking years.
Yeah,
Shelter Cove, fucking Whitethorn, Whale Gulch. Let's fucking go, bro.
That's
like
awesome.
Real shit. Southern Humboldt, real shit.
Yeah,
fuck Garberville, fuck Murder Mountain.
Yeah,
like real Kings Mountain, Whale Gulch, like
on the
ocean. Real OG.
Yeah,
real ocean grown shit.
Exactly, bro. Yeah.
What were you? When were you out there? Were you out there like camp days, like growing in the trees, or when were you out there?
Yeah, like this was all mid-90s. You know, so like definitely camp was a thing. You know, I remember
heavies.
Like they were
heavies.
They were doing all sorts of weird tactics, like dropping weird sticky glue on stuff, and like, you know, just smothering plants with things. They're, dude, going up. I'd see them go up like next to these greenies and stuff, and just get their helicopters and angle them, just rip all the plastic off my neighbors,
and just blow everything down. They wouldn't even drop homies. They would just come in and get 15 feet above your fucking house and your fucking greenie and just blast everything to the dirt.
Yes, dude, exactly. And there was definitely like a lot of like, you know, it was a lot of just like family grows up there then, you know what I mean? It was just a handful of people doing it, and then a lot of people in the community were against it too. Some of them were like, I'm a goat farmer and a sheep farmer and I grow apples and all this other stuff, and they're like, you cash grabbers are ruining for everybody and stuff. But then all of a sudden they jumped on the team too, you know what I mean? Because it's like, there's either you own a store up there or you know somebody who owns a store. You know what I mean? You could get a little job, but there wasn't a lot of jobs to be had. So it's like, if you don't grow, then you're a part of a grow. You're a trimmer, you're a planter, you're a something, you know what I mean? Runner, processor, or something, you know what I mean? So there's like a lot of there wasn't a lot of opportunity up there. And then like they used to call those honeydew hundreds. We go to honeydew stores. They're like, we love these honeydew hundreds. It's like, you know, everyone's eating and feeding their families, and that whole community's all did thrive because of ganja, man. Just like Santa Cruz, man. I'm here in Santa Cruz now. You know how much businesses this town built off brown bag and turkey bag money? Yeah, crazy. You know what I mean? Just like
turkey bag money. I love that. I love turkey bag money.
You know, before these Mylar bags, Blair.
I love that, man.
I appreciate you guys, man, having you. And my name's Rob, and I'm not even sure who everyone is here, but
Rob, I'm Jameson, and I'd love to have you back on and tell more of your stories. That was fucking dope.
No, it's rad, bro. I love that. Like, I love to hear like people's stories, and it's important for all of us to share. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because, dude, I'm not getting no younger, and pretty soon I'm not gonna remember all this stuff. And then it's rad, like, because it like triggers little things like this. Like, oh, what do you? I'm like, I have a story about the Skittles. I've told a bunch of people that, like, close friends, the same thing. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just my experience with it. But that was way before any kind of branding was even a thing. There was no branding. There's nothing like that. You know what I mean?
100%, man.
Bro, epic stories about the Z, bro.
Yeah. Right?
Like
all this stuff. It's like I could pull Blue Dream out right now. So it's like, well, that's not brand new. It's like, no, this is that. Everyone got tired of this 15 years ago.
Yeah, no, we got the real.
I mean, like, you know, so everything's new if you never seen it. You know what I mean? So it's like the terpene wheel keeps turning, and the genetic wheel keeps turning, and we're just doing something that somebody else is doing 1,000 years ago, right? Like
100%.
Yeah,
bro. Like in the rec market here up in Oregon, like our real deal fucking Southern Oregon headband.
Yeah,
and that's like the real 707 headband shit, and the real Triangle Kush.
Yeah,
like that shit is fucking like it's on the market, and people fucking know about it.
Oh yeah, bro, for sure.
I'm like, you say everybody talks shit about Blue Dream, but like get that real cut.
It's so fun.
I hate to say it, but like the older homies, like my mom and my grandma and shit, they fuck with that real Blue Dream cut.
I have the cut. We've kept it around forever. It's the tried and true, the plug and play, the blueberry to haze. Looks extra icy, super just candy sweet, buttery, almost like a buttery creamy. Yeah, dude, it's like, I know guys that made millions of dollars off just that one genetic.
Bro, but I have homies that have made millions of dollars off of Jaeger and Blue Dream, and that's it.
Totally, bro.
Straight up. And I got no hate for them. I got all love.
Bro,
it's real. It's real deal shit.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's the spice of life. Everyone's got, like, you know, it's like wine. There's like red, white, rosé. There's, you know, we got like so many more colors to our painting with cannabis. Like we're so lucky to have all these different colors and forms and flavors and feels, and like there's so many combinations to cannabis. That's why it's funny when like the numbers came out, like 30%ers. I'm like, dude, I got some 14 to 16%ers that will knock your dick in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like
Masonic. You asking what's the story on the Jaeger? So
that was an old school strain. That's
so the Jaeger's from like out here where we are now in Southern Oregon. The Miller family over in fucking Cave Junction, and my last name's the same. So like whenever I start fucking with new people, they're like, "Oh, you're the Millers. Like you fuck with that real." So it's like a really specific cut of that purple Hindu Kush, that PHK. That like they've been fucking with that shit out in like Cave Junction, Selma area for a long time. I've said it and I'll say it again. It's like the fucking Blue Dream of Southern Oregon.
Yeah.
And it's made a lot of people a lot of money, and it kills it up here. Mm-hmm. And you get that real deal Jaeger cut, bro. It's like it crushes. It's huge. It's like the GMO or that Blue Dream. Like you can fucking put that shit out in wherever, and you'll don't feed it, don't water it, whatever, and it just goes.
Yeah,
it just goes. It's those some of those real fucking like pre-hop latent virus fucking strains that those like the OGs in the woods back in the day pumped out. They still you see them next to your other shit, and you're like, oh, okay. I understand why that's an elite. I understand why that hasn't had any genetic like stretching over the last 15 years because we've been cloning the same shit, the same cut for this many years, and they still bomb. They still crush.
Genetics, bro. That stuff will not delaminate if it's stable.
Never.
Yep.
It's russet resilient. It's fucking aphid resilient. It's fucking drought resilient. Like you can't beat it. Like it's what's kept this industry alive. You look at I forget the name of the website, but here in Oregon we have on our metric system we have a company that you can pay to track all of the metric sales in the entire state based on flour, hash, everything. Like this is the strain that's sold this much. This is that the hash that's sold this much from this company, from this company, from this company. And Blue Dream in the Pacific Northwest is still one of the top 2 or 3 selling strains.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Especially with older homies, because it's family friendly. You can smoke that shit all day and still talk to your wife and not be a fucking weirdo
straight
at
up
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep, exactly. It's definitely the working folks weed. Like you can smoke it all day long and it's still maintained for sure. And it's nostalgic, man. It kind of brings you back. Everyone likes it. It's a nice steady buzz.
Yeah, it's funny. One of the only cuts other than like the RS11 or a couple like the Triangle in our farm that's like not available to most people just because of who I got it from and I respect them is like the real fucking that real headband.
Yeah.
And when my homie kicked it to me, he was like, straight up, I don't care what you do with this, just don't give it out to anybody. And I was like, oh, a headband, yeah, okay. And then it's that real cut. And I was like, bro, like fucking 15 years ago in Southern Humboldt, like this shit was everywhere. Same thing with our Sherb. Like everybody had it. Yeah. And now, like the fact that people have kept it and the few homies that have it, they're specific with it.
Yeah, well, I collect all sorts of like I just had a good conversation with Cap when we were down south in Hollywood at that little Transbay Challenge thing, and Cap he was asking if I had the old Urkel, and I was like, yeah, man, I'll give it to you. He wanted to do some building with like the old squatty, chunky, like grape.
You got the real Urkel?
Yeah, it's like grape jelly jam, like like tiny little knots, like dude, it's like short, squatty little thing. Oh, it's so fire, dude! But it's like I can smoke that all day, the rest of my life. You know what I mean? It's a
bro. So at it was I think it was the Purple City, the PCG booth at Emerald last year. Like I went down there last year. Like I wasn't really trying to bring any new cuts to the farm just because of fucking Hop Layton and fucking everything. We were like on the way into our rec game, and I was just like, I'm not trying to bring a bunch of bullshit in, whatever. But the second day I went to fucking Purple City and I looked at their menu and I was like, y'all got that they even advertised it as like that, like early 2010 Urkel.
Yeah.
Like Bay Area Urkel or whatever.
Yeah.
And I walked up to them and I was like, what's up with that? And they were like, oh, that was the first thing that sold out. No, we definitely don't have that anymore. And I was like, okay, well, at least I know I'm like on par with like what people fucking want. You know, like, cool. The first thing I asked for, he was like, that was the first thing we sold out of.
Yeah.
Like that real Urkel or that real fucking, like that real GDP
like
from the Bay.
Lavender, the purple cushes, Mendo perps, like all these crazy like perps acting like, and then dark color version ones and then these lighter ones with blotches. And that's when they're rapping about it, right? Like smoke purple, sipping yay and all that stuff, right? Like, you know, all the dudes were smoking perps. Like, that was the jam. And then in the Bay, that was the jam. There was like...
It's coming back now.
It's
coming back now.
Fully is, yep.
Like, my homie, Kin's GDP. Like, those were the fucking... That was that real GDP.
Yeah,
like
literally, it was killing it, and then testing came along, player. And it was like...
Because I feel like it got so stretched out. It just
They're like 14 to 18%ers are like, we want Gorilla Glue and Chiquita Banana, that's 31.7%. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, everyone started chasing the number. We lost a lot of stuff when everyone started chasing numbers.
Yeah, we did. I feel like especially when a lot of the indoor homies came in, I mean, like, I love Mike. I love everything from exotic. Like, I've got some amazing Grease Monkey crosses. Like, our fucking Mr. Nasty is, like, one of my favorite fucking things that we grow.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, when you're cranking shit in a fucking indoor environment and then growing it out in, like, true, like, full sun, full season environments like we have in NorCal and Southern Oregon, they transfer a little different, and they're just, I mean, they're great. I love them so much. But yeah, those old school like perps, they're just like that fucking dude, that Mendo breath, like, it's one of my
gifts and all those things. Like, dude, there's so many good grapes back then, and like, yeah, they're definitely making a comeback.
Yeah, my homies down in Humboldt, even like a couple of years ago on the rec scene, like their fucking like ice cream cake that went perp earlier than other people's was selling quicker and for higher tickets than other shit.
Yeah,
just because it went purple.
Yeah, totally.
You know, just that visual thing, and you could get some fucking ICC or something purple in early depths. Like, you're stoked, you're crushing it.
Yep. But it's nice to see green weed making a comeback too.
Yeah, I love it. That's like
green weed, bro. Like, you can't just be like gassy purple, this and that's. Like, it's like you give me I'm a painter. You give me 3 colors to paint with. Like, what the fuck? Give me 1,000 colors, bro. I'll make a way better painting. You know what I'm saying? Get cut us short with our colors. You know what I'm saying? Just like food, man. Give us the ingredients. You know, like,
yeah. Let's smoke weed the way that dogs see colors. Like, let's be fucking colorblind and just taste the shit.
For real. And then everyone has this like Jack Rare. It's like a line in the sand. Either you hate it or you love it, right?
I fucking hate it. I'm on the other side of the line.
Anxiety gets me all ramped up, the whole thing. But then, like, some of my friends are like, I'll smoke that over everything all day. Like, they're diehard, bro. You know what I mean? So that's when it absorbs the herb and the medicine so differently, and like everyone has a different feel, right? So like some things work for your body, your temple, and some things freaking don't. It might work differently from someone in your family or your neighbor. So that's why it's so cool to have all the diversity too, because for like I'm already like very talkative and high strung, kind of like wiry, always mind going, and like I throw sativa on there, I'm like, like, whoa, it gets me all like a squirrel flashy thing, like, you know what I mean? And then I smoke some heavy indica for breakfast. That shit gets my feet on the ground, you know what I'm saying? And then it makes me everything like this, all of a sudden goes and I can take care of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of going all the things are like, you know what I mean? It literally just grounds me. And a lot of people are like, no, that's nighttime weed for me. I'm like, oh, well, that's what I call breakfast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's rad, bro. Like, it's important for everyone to keep the knowledge going, keep the strain hunting going. Like, you know, we pull out some old genetics is cool. They say I'm more like my grandfather than I am my mom and dad. You know, they leap and stuff. All of a sudden, you see something that we can grab that's like from some old school lineage that's popping back out of something. Isolate it, grab it, work with it, have some fun with it. You know what I mean?
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Well, hey, man, I'm going to sign off. I appreciate you boys for sure.
Appreciate you. Well,
all right, man. Oh, you guys be well.
You guys.
Right on. Keep up the great work, guys.
Absolutely. Peace, everybody.
Right.
You have a good night.
All right,
thanks, brother.